Continuing my tour of the IPCPR 2017 show floor from the Las Vegas Convention Center, and I am at the JC Newman booth. It's really not a booth, but this is kind of the JC Newman headquarters here in Vegas, and I'm joined by longtime friends as we celebrate 22 years of the Cigar Dave show. There are two men that were with me since the beginning, well, maybe week two, we know that story, but we've got Eric Newman, we've got Bobby Newman, we've got Drew Newman, and we've got Shanda Lee, the Vice President of Marketing for JC Newman. They've been on the show many times. All of you, it is great to see you, as always. Hard to believe we had to come 1,800 miles to see each other when we live so close to each other in Tampa.
Long ashes.
Back at you. Now, Drew Newman, there's a big project. We talk about the history of JC Newman, 122 years now.
122 years, founded by my great-grandfather in 1895. And we, General, are making cigars great again. We're going back to our roots.
Wait a minute. I forgot you are, Drew, believe it or not, was in charge of the New York State Young Republicans for Trump campaign.
Couldn't be prouder.
Exactly, making American cigars great again.
American cigars great again, and we're doing this by coming out and launching a brand new, 100% all-American cigar. From seed to smoke, everything is American. The boxes, the bands, the tobacco, the hand rolling, all American, unlike any other cigar here on the show floor today.
Box is beautiful. I love this box.
American hardwood, handmade by artisans in Miami, with the bands printed and the labels printed.
Let's get a shot of this. This is great.
In Orlando, our cigar molds are made in Central Florida as well. And one of the unique features of this cigar is it contains the exclusive Florida sun-grown wrapper grown in Claremont.
I was with Jeff Borshowitz about a month ago. We spent the day together. That's exactly right. Saw a few gators and, in fact, gave a few watermelons to take home. That's the first time I've ever really gone to a farm and seen how watermelons are grown. But what I found amazing was how the cigar tobacco was grown. And it was fascinating. And this is an integral component of the JC Newman, the American.
Absolutely, General. And not only is it amazing how the tobacco is grown, it's amazing how the tobacco tastes. Jeff's exclusive Florida sun-grown wrapper has a earthiness, a rich, mineral-rich taste that's unlike any other cigar in the world.
Tell us about the cigar complexion. Mild, medium, full?
It's a medium to full-bodied cigar that we're hand-making in Ybor City, Florida right now. And it has Jeff's Florida sun-grown wrapper. The binder is Connecticut broadleaf, grown by a 7th-generation family-owned farm there. And the filler is a combination of tobacco grown by the Amish in Pennsylvania with a little bit of Connecticut Havana seed tobacco that is the same as the Black Diamond wrapper. So it's 100% all-American for true patriots, for true generals, and for true Americans.
And this is the American I just pulled out of your pocket.
You just pulled it out of the pocket.
Of course I did.
Of course.
It's 5-star.
General, you can have anything.
Of course. Now I just need a lightation device. It's already cut. I will take a lightation device. Now, when will this be available? I know they're rolling now in the JC Newman factory in Ybor.
Now, and we want to make sure we get them right. And so we're rolling 1,000 a week.
That's it.
Hand. That's it. We want to keep the production small right now so we can ensure the best quality. And once we get a good 8, 9, 10 months of age on them, we'll start sharing them with friends, certainly starting with you, General.
Of course. I can't wait. Well, I've got an early sample now.
And not only is this brand called the American, and it reflects the fact that it's a 100% American product, but the American was actually the first brand of cigar that was rolled in our century-old El Reloj factory in Ybor City when it opened in 1910.
Outstanding. All right, well, beautiful packaging. The cigar right off the bat, a lot of flavor on this. You can definitely tell that FSG. This is not for amateurs, but this is going to be a nice, hearty smoke, but not overpowering. Let's move along to another cigar, and who wants to take the lead on that one? Let's move over that way and talk about the new Brick House, Connecticut. Brick House, a hugely popular cigar. Let's move everybody over there.
Got them right here.
All right, fantastic. Let's talk about the Brick House. Let's move over so we can take a look at that. The Brick House, Connecticut. Interesting story. We've talked about the Brick House with your grandfather, JC, in Hungary.
Grandpa JC was born in the only brick house in a little village in Hungary in 1875. It was an inn. His mother ran the inn. When he came to the United States in 1888, he became a cigar apprentice in 1890. When business for himself in 1895, one of his first brands was called Brick House to honor the place where he grew up. The brand died out in the 30s. We brought it back out of retirement about 9 years ago. as a real meaty Ecuador Havana seed wrapper cigar. Really very popular cigar. So what we're launching today is our Brick House Double Connecticut. We know of no other cigar that's made with a Connecticut shade wrapper. This is real Connecticut shade, not Ecuador, Connecticut shade wrapper. The binder is Connecticut broadleaf. It is definitely a true double Connecticut. It's got a real spiciness, got a little twang to it. It's got a lot of flavor. Won't kill your taste buds. It's a unique taste. And there must be over 200 new cigars offered at this IPCPR. This is the only one that is a double Connecticut. It has Connecticut wrapper, Connecticut binder.
And this is made down at your own factory, Bobby, Pensa, in Nicaragua.
In Esteli, Nicaragua, correct. And we're making 82,000 cigars a day there.
So you also make the regular Brick House,
Right.
the Quorum, and we'll get to the Perla Del Mar.
Right.
And that's a big change for JC Newman because for many years, Fuentes still make many of your cigars, but a number of years ago you decided to get more vertically integrated. And now you have the ability to come out with new blends, new brands, and I even understand you're now starting to procure your own cigar tobaccos.
Right.
I could be a Newman. I mean, I know all this stuff. I know all the history here.
It is. It's Dave Newman. What do you mean? You obviously did not get the memo. Okay.
Now, when we look at the box, got the green. How did you come up with that color scheme? Because it's different than the red Brick House, so there's got to be a story. I know there always is a story. Or does Shanda have the story?
Shanda's got the story.
Shanda! Shanda's coming. See, everybody, when you're at the booth in real time, what happens is you get pulled in umpteen different directions. All the retailers want to order cigars, so we're doing this in real time, and whatever happens, happens. Now, Shanda, let's talk about why the Brick House, Connecticut, how you came up with a green color scheme, because Brick House was a red house, and the original Brick House in that Maduro wrapper with a red box. This is green.
Well, the green is really because of the Connecticut wrapper. We wanted to do something that was going to be a little bit different. And you've got the lighter shade of the Connecticut, and the green kind of fit in with the color scheme of Brick House. We'd already done the red, but we did the green, and then we added the American flag.
I noticed that. That's great, because Connecticut, USA wrapper, and Connecticut broadleaf binder.
Exactly.
So I like that. That's a nice touch, because again, you are making cigars great again. Cigars are always great, but making cigars great again.
Make it great and even greater again.
These are huge, huge, the most spectacular cigars I've ever seen. Now, suggested retail, when will these be available? Ballpark.
Well, these are actually available right now.
Right now.
They're right now available online through Cigars International, but they're going to be in brick and mortars around the country starting in September.
Same price point as the Brick House in the $6-8 category?
Exactly.
Identical. You're going to have a mighty, mighty Brick House, Connecticut?
Yes, we are.
And it is delicious too.
I haven't had one. I wouldn't know, Bobby.
Eric,
You haven't had one?
No,
Oh, we
nobody.
have to
No,
fix
no, no.
that.
I haven't had one. But I do have the American, which I'm thoroughly enjoying.
You have no shame, do you, Cigar Dave?
Listen, I like giving these gentlemen, very good friends, a hard time. I'm just kidding, because I know when we get back to Tampa, we'll have lunch, we'll smoke some great cigars, and I always enjoy going to the factory. Just the smell when you walk in is just, you're engulfed with the history, you're engulfed with just the aroma, and it's great. You are the last remaining, well, I wouldn't say last, but really in Tampa, the last remaining cigar factory where you're making your very unique machine-made cigars, but with a hand-placed wrapper, which is very important.
hand-operated machines, and of course now we're making the American. We have 2 cigar rollers in our factory, which you have to come to see.
Cigar Dave, this is a Brick House Double Connecticut Toro. I just thought perhaps you might like one without having you drop the hint of where the Mighty Mighty is.
Actually, I was looking for a box, Eric, but I'll take the single cigar. All right, so this is available now, same price points,
Yes.
mild to medium in body?
Medium.
Medium. So definitely not an ultra-mild cigar, more than medium, but not as rich as the Brick House Maduro.
Well, I can tell you for me personally, because I'm a Diamond Crown girl, you know that.
Only the best for you, Chantel.
But as far as the Connecticut tobacco, I find it to be a little too spicy. I love the Brick House, but it's a later in the afternoon cigar for me. But the Brick House Connecticut with the Connecticut wrapper and the Connecticut binder just kind of gives it a smoother flavor that any time of day, it's delicious. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. Now, let's move over to Perla Del Mar. Let's everybody sneak in over here. Shanda, Bobby, sneak right in here. And again, as we present this in real time right from the show floor, this is the great thing, that we can basically go right in the booth because the Cigar Retailers Convention is not open to the public. So we give you a really an exclusive view, being able to go into every single booth. Now, Perla Del Mar, great cigar. This was launched, what, about 4 years ago now? Going back about 4 or 5 years ago to the Buffalo Smoke on the Water, which JC Newman presented, the very first one in Grand Island. We want to do a special cigar. And at the time, Rich Dolak, who is your VP of Operations, who doesn't really operate that much, doesn't really work. He just kind of sits around all day, and we don't know what Rich does.
Rich,
but
you want to defend yourself?
No, not at all. Again, because I'm so friendly with everybody, we get to razz them a little bit. So I said, Rich, I've got an idea. I love the Perla Del Mar blend. I love the shape. I love the blend. I want you to put a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper on it, and let's do it as a Cigar Dave special edition that we'll give away in the assault packs at the Cigar Dave Smoke on the Water about 4 or 5 years ago. He said, great. They did it. Off the charts, huge hit. People loved it, and that was it. I think I've got maybe 10 left. And what are we launching this year, Eric?
Perla Del Mar Maduro.
I will take the credit.
And the check's in the mail.
It should
the
be.
royalty check.
It should be. It should be. Now, first of all, I have to compliment the color of this box. The packaging is absolutely off the charts. I love the azure color, the light azure. That's a very fancy color scheme.
It is. You have to give
Shanda credit.
Vice President Marketing, all the packaging, the boxes.
Look at those beauties.
Well,
Magnificent.
Perla Del Mar is the pearl of the sea, so we wanted it to be like a beechwood box, to kind of be a little bit different, stand out on the shelves, and really highlight the dark, creamy wrapper.
Beautiful. Look at those cigars. So that is the same blend that we did 4 or 5 years ago.
It's been modified. I think it's even better. We think it's even better cigar. You know, the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. It has a unique taste. People have tried to put the seeds, to grow the seeds other place. Only it's a real Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. I tell you, thank goodness it's selling very, very well.
So this is out already now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and same price as the regular Perla Del Mar.
Yes.
Now, what's cool is the fact that the square press on this just feels great, and it's a super reasonably priced cigar. What are we looking at? Sizes and suggested retail?
You look at between $6 and $7.
And how many sizes?
There's 5 sizes, 6 sizes.
Now, there's one size that you would give away at your in-store events for Perla. Real small little, I call it the Walk Sultan cigar, my German Shepherd. Because I'd walk, it was about 15 minutes, the Perla P, and you got to see that this is magnificent. This is a great, great size. What's the size on the ring gauge on that?
This is 3 3/4 by 56. So Cigar Dave can walk around, probably, depending on how fast he walks, between a mile and a mile and a half with Sultan. That includes picking up his busy too.
Retails for $4 1/4.
$4 1/4, great value. This is definitely a cigar you want to enjoy in the morning. It's a Connecticut seed grown in Ecuador, in the box pressed. We came out with this. It was only available for tasting, like you said.
That's right.
And it is it's done very, very well. Selling well, available in all the great smoke shops in America.
Will this be available in the Perla Del Mar Maduro as well?
Not yet.
Will it be?
We'll have to test market on a Cigar Day.
Just send them to me to smoke the cigar. I'll be happy to test them. No problem. I think that would be great. I just love the size of this. Again, the whole Perla Del Mar line, from the box, the packaging, the feel of the cigar is just outstanding. And that's become a very big seller for
It's
you.
also one of the only box pressed Connecticut cigars. Most Connecticut cigars are around. We're one of the first because the delicate wrapper pressed it. We thought there'd be a market for it, and it's really cool.
And I also like, I'm looking over, you've got I think, is that a 5-pack? Shanda, let's go back and take.
There's actually one right here.
Oh, perfect. Here we go. I love the packaging on this. Look at that. 5-pack. And these are sold where? Primarily retailers?
These are brand new.
Brand new?
These are being released here at the show. It's a brand new size that, of course, we shipped out last year, but we have it available now because so many people now want to be able to go in, just quickly pick up cigars for beach, party, poker game, whatever it is, and we wanted to make it easy to pick up something where you can share it with friends.
This is great. Whether you're playing golf, you want to have a little poker, like you say, poker game, or I want to travel, put these in my briefcase as I travel, which I'm going to take right now. I'm going to take this too. No, I'm just kidding. This is great. 5 cigars, and comes in a great Ziploc pouch. This is beautiful.
Make it easy to pack a Perla.
Was this your idea?
I don't think this one was my idea. I think this was the team. This was something that.
Well, last August 8th, as you may remember, was FDA Day. We and our other cigar manufacturers came out with a lot of new products just to show, because if we hadn't shipped it into commerce by August 8th of 2016, FDA said, screw you, you can never come out with a new product. This is one of a number of products that we had on D-Day, so we just pulled off the shelf and said, what do you think? We think there's a market for it, so we're going to try it.
Well, the good news is about the FDA, two things. The Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Tom Price, and Dr. Scott Gottlieb, who's now the FDA Commissioner, are both cigar friendly. They understand the difference between cigarettes and cigars. Further, Dr. Scott Gottlieb wrote a great op-ed piece in the New York Post a few years back saying this is ridiculous talking about regulating premium cigars. That's not what the Cigarette Act was all about. So he's on our side. The problem, though, is that because it was codified into law under the Obama administration, they can't just say, let's get rid of it. But there is a court case going on now, there's legislation, there's 3 different prongs going on. Hopefully, it will go away.
Yes. Yeah, we expect, we're cautiously optimistic, put it that way.
Well, one thing is we've got to drain the FDA swamp.
Yes.
Trump is going to drain the Washington swamp. We've got to drain the bureaucratic swamp. And the good thing is we've got both of those gentlemen. And I think Dr. Tom Price actually was at your factory
It
touring.
was our factory during the 2012 RNC, Republican National Convention, made cigars, smoked a cigar with us. He's a wonderful friend. He's an orthopedic surgeon out of Atlanta, and he understands exactly what we're trying to do.
He calls himself Mr. 218. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives, and back in 2012, a majority is 218. He was the 218th person to sign on to our bill to exempt premium cigars from regulation. So we're trying to remind him.
Dr. 218.
Dr. 218.
Now Secretary 218.
Yes.
But it's good that we've got allies now in the FDA and Health and Human Services. Now there's another cigar that I want to talk about. We launched it at the Buffalo Alpha Pleasure, the Cigar City Tampa Alpha Pleasure Fest in February. That was very big. The Black Diamond, very exclusive, only available in about 30, 40 retailers for a while. So let's go take a look at that. We'll jump back around. You go that way, I'm going to go this way. And we will take a look, because this cigar, the Black Diamond, is absolutely magnificent. And here we go right here. First of all, look at how this comes. This reminds me, my grandfather, Cigar Dave, always had the Crown Royal velvet pouch, and he'd always give it to me. And this reminds me of that, and it's just beautiful packaging, Black Diamond. Again, only 30 retailers. Is this now available?
We've just recently expanded. We've actually increased the number of retailers, but it's a very limited production cigar. It's made by the Fuente family, but it's our boutique cigar, so it is extremely limited, but you will see it in a few more retailers, probably about 45 or 50 around the United States, just brick and mortars.
Nice, full-flavored cigar, but not overpowering. Bobby, tell us about the blend.
Yeah, let me say, it just got a 96 rating.
No, I gave it 100. That's what counts. Forget every other rate. 100. I'm telling you, it's that good.
It got a 96 rating in Cigar and Spirits magazine just last week. The wrapper, it is a Havana seed grown in Connecticut, so it's not for everybody.
It's not a broadleaf.
Not a broadleaf. It's a Havana seed. It's got a little more. It's like enjoying. It's the difference between drinking a Coors beer versus a German beer. The German beer has nice, strong, heavy, memorable flavor, and the binder, is a Dominican binder.
And the filler.
The filler is a blend of 5 different Central and South American tobaccos.
But the base of the blend comes from a special section of the Fuente farm in the Dominican Republic, and that Carlos hasn't used that tobacco yet, so he let us use it and mix it in with a regular blend, and it's a very powerful, meaty, flavorful cigar.
Well, I want to speak to the power of it.
Yes.
I told you I'm a Diamond Crown girl. I like the Brickhouse Connecticut because it's a little milder. This is definitely a fuller bodied cigar. It's definitely bolder, but it's so smooth and creamy that even someone who normally doesn't smoke bold cigars is going to love this cigar. It's one of my favorites.
I can tell you, everybody at the Tampa Alpha Pleasure Fest went crazy over it. And I can tell you that I know my Buffalo crew loved it. And you were nice enough to send them some additional cigars. Just a great cigar. about $16, $18 price point, correct?
Depending. Yeah.
Depending with state, but
20.
ballpark, up to 20.
70 to 20.
17 to 20, and worth every cent. And again, everything you're making, you're selling.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I mean,
And
we've got people at the show asking for it, so it's a good thing.
And it's limited, so you can't,
Right.
because the Fuente, there's just a limited amount of tobacco that's available.
Right.
Outstanding. Well, as always, by the way, I must say, Eric and Bobby, you look sartorially splendid because we all go to the same haberdasher, Kirby's Menswear in Tampa, and I know you were there, Eric, because
Saturday.
I was there picking up, I had to get my suit altered again, and I was there, and they said, you just missed Eric Newman, he was just in here. So we all go to the same place. That's why we all look so splendid.
Absolutely. Yes,
Very
Cigar
good.
Dave.
Bobby Newman,
Cigar Dave.
Eric Newman,
will see you
I'm
in
going to give
Tampa.
Shanda a kiss.
All right. Good to see you.
As always, the General from the JC Newman booth here at IPCPR 2017.
Cigar Dave's coverage from the 2017 International Premium Cigar Retailers Convention is presented by Altadas, Rocky Patel Premium Cigars, and General Cigar.